Hello, everybody, and welcome back. As you can see, I am not Donna Drake. I know I wish I was, but it's because we're interviewing people who are very close and near and dear to my heart. We are joined by our Scott French and Vivian Kelly, and they are the authors of Donald J. Pliner, Selling of One's Souls. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you
I'm
for having
really,
us.
Of course. I'm so excited to be with you guys, and I'm going to pull the curtain back a little bit. Scott is the reason, and Vivian as well. All of the times I sit on this set, I talk about different fashion events that I'm doing and different fashion shows and things around the city, and a lot of that is because of Scott and Vivian, and I sat next to Scott at a fashion show. I had actually cold called him, which is also the reason I'm on this set. I'm like the king of cold calls. But they believed in my journey, and we've been working together ever since. So I'm really excited to flip the script and now be interviewing them about a project that's very close to them. So let's get right into it. So we have this incredible book here. You both are amazing published authors. And I wanted to know, what was the catalyst for writing this book about Donald J. Pliner?
Yeah, Donald J. Pliner, many years ago, before I had my own agency and working with you, Evan, I was working for another agency, and Donald was a client of that agency. So I was fortunate enough to meet him and launch one of his many shoe collections. And during COVID, I don't know if you've ever heard of COVID or not, but during COVID, I had a lot of time on my hands. I thought, you know what? I want to find a new project to write. I was producing a podcast, much like this show, for his wife, Lisa Pliner. And I noticed this wild chemistry on air between them. And I was like, wow. And I'd see Donald and Lisa talking. I thought, they have a really great energy and a really great story. And every guest was obsessed with them. And I thought, wait a minute, this could be the subject of my book. And I began writing.
I love that. And Vivian, also, I know you are known as the fashion historian, and I know that you both have a podcast together where you talk about fashion. So how did you, Vivian, approach this project, either similarly or differently from others?
Well, I always wanted to write a book, and this was just an amazing opportunity because Scott and I were talking about our podcast, as a matter of fact, and he kept talking about this book. I need more work on this book, and then he asked me to work on it. I was like, yes, absolutely. This is a dream come true, to have a book. I've written lots and lots of articles, but never anything as substantive as a book.
I
I
love
also want
that.
to say, Evan, it took about 1 second for Vivian to say yes, just so you.
Yes, that's true.
So
Well, who
I have no
wouldn't?
shame. Yes.
I think it's like a great opportunity, and especially to cover the life and times of someone as iconic as Donald J. Pliner. So that kind of leads me to my next question, which is, what was something interesting that you found? Because I know that you have a personal relationship with Donald and Lisa. So what is something that you found that was kind of surprising or that you didn't know before while you were creating this book?
I can start. I can tell you when
Yeah.
I realized Donald was a big deal, but as we're writing this book and doing the research, I realized like this guy's an icon. He's like a rock and roll star of shoes. And I thought at first, like, is it really as big today as it was back in his heyday? His heyday was really the 90s and the early 2000s, is when he was really at the peak of his career. Recently, we were in Ohio doing a little book event, and we had Donna and Lisa with us. Every single person was running up to Donna and Lisa. Can you? Oh my God! I can't believe I have a photo. I got to tell you about my shoes. They all had a Donald Pliner shoe story. I really didn't realize that how entrenched in the American fashion culture he was.
No, 100%. And Vivian, what about you?
Well, I'm a research rat. So, in the midst of all that, what I found out was what an amazing and innovative retailer he was before he even started doing shoes. And I mean, he was dressing people like celebrities, like you name it, celebrities from the 70s, 80s, 90s, he dressed them. And he also, discovered all these amazing American designers and brought them to the United States, which is major. And he passed on Armani. I still can't get over it. He had the opportunity to bring Armani to the United States and passed on that.
See, that's incredible. You really get to dive deep into their story, and
Yeah.
especially that you got so close to him. And my next question is, it was actually funny. One day I was calling Scott to complain about one of the many hardships in my industry that I find to call him every day about. And he was actually in the car with Donald and Lisa, which I was kind of embarrassed that I was complaining when I was in front of like two incredible icons. But Lisa was also so incredible, and talking to her was great. And I know she does a lot of work as well in the industry. So what did you find out about her story and how she was kind of partners with Donald and helped him along in his journey? I'll start with Scott.
Oh, yeah. Lisa's a real icon of her own right. There could be a whole book just about Lisa as well, by the way. She was she began as an artist. She was a daughter of a diplomat, had a very, very charmed life growing up, and ended up in Miami in an artist community. And it ran into, roundabout way, Gianni Versace. And she actually planned and helped Gianni Versace build the famous Versace mansion in Miami. And through that, met everyone you can imagine, from Madonna to Sylvester Stallone to Elton John, all these amazing people. And one of the people that she met was Donald Pliner. And little did she know, it was going to be her husband, the rest of her life. But they were set up on a blind date, actually, from someone said, "I think you need to meet this shoe guy." And she's like, "I already have enough fashion in my life. I don't need any more." And they were introduced to each other, and they got married. And Donald said, date number 2, I knew this is who I'm going to marry. So she's a really, really amazing icon in her own right.
Exactly. And Vivian, what about you?
Well, pretty much what Scott just said, but also that she was one of the original salespeople in the Versace boutique at the heyday, the absolute heyday of Miami. Like, I worked at Mirabelle at the time, and I worked with Michael Kors, and everyone wanted to go and shoot in Miami because it was the hot, sizzling place. And I included European Vogues wanted to go there. And that she was really in the center of that whole storm of fabulousness and fashion at the time, which is so interesting. I got to dive into that too.
I think
If I
it's
could say
very
one more thing,
clear.
I suppose I'll say one more thing. Donald, I was very surprised by how much a part of his story she was. Donald was really, he began the company, but he still to this day looks at her with a sparkle in his eye and credits her with so much of his creativity. She truly was his muse. And she said, Versace got it right, but I got it for life. And it's very much that way.
No, 100%. I was even going to say before, they're just such an incredible team, and you could see that throughout their story, that they really play off one another, and they have each other to thank for their icon status. So that's really incredible. I thank you guys so much for coming on. I mean, as you could tell by looking at this book, it is so striking. I mean, from the pages that are just this like dark, beautiful color to the front cover that really tells you everything. You're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but like if you did, you would only have great things to say about Donald and his work and how you guys covered it. So I'm give you guys your flowers on that. And I thank you both because you play such a huge part in my career, and you're always spotlighting me. So to be able to spotlight something as amazing as this for you both, it's been a great, amazing journey. And when I'm complaining about the next thing in my career to you both, I will remember that, you had this amazing moment as well. So thank you so much.
Let's write your book. Let's write your book next, Evan.
I know, I'm ready. If it's in your hands, I know it'll be a good book. You might make me look a little cooler than I am, but I know I'm in great hands when I'm with you both. So thank you so much.
Thank you both so much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Donna, as well.
Of course.
Yes.
That was an amazing conversation with our Scott French and Vivian Kelly about their new book. Definitely check it out if you're a fashion fan like me. Thank you, guys.